On the show, pension tension grips France, but the jitters are felt in India too as the old pension scheme demand chorus grows. Can the state sustain the burden? How to determine fake news from the real? Editors Guild is unhappy over government's proposal to make PIB the fact checker. Yet another report on Joshimath subsidence claims the eastern part of the holy town went down by 10 centimeters in the last 4 years. We tell you the impact of it. All this and more, get a view of India from the top angle. Well, now reinstating the old pension scheme has been the talk of the town for quite some time now. States ruled mainly by the Congress are making a lateral shift to the old scheme. The question is, are they biting more than they can chew? The burden on the exchequer is something that must not be missed. Protests have erupted in France. More than 1 million people joining a day of protests and strikes. They are against Emmanuel Macron's plans to push back the age of retirement from 62 to 64 years. Will similar scenes be witnessed in India? Now, the issue of reinstating the old pension scheme is rocking the country too. It's a case of how good economics loses to bad political motives. After the Congress came to power in Himachal Pradesh last year, the new Chief Minister, Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu, promised to bring back the old pension scheme. The scheme was discontinued by the Vajpayee government, and the new national pension scheme was rolled out by the Modi government in 2014. Reviving the scheme has been a hallmark of the Congress politics in other poll-bound states in the past, including Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, both of which it won. As per the OPS, an employee would receive 50% of their last drawn basic pay and dearness allowance or their average earnings in the last 10 months of service. Employees were not required to contribute to the fund. The new pension scheme, however, requires the employer to contribute 14% of the basic pay and the employee 10% of the basic pay to the fund. Statistics show Himachal's economy can barely sustain the old pension scheme. The debt to gross state domestic product of Himachal Pradesh in the financial year 2022 was about 43%. This is a particularly high level of indebtedness and is in line with states like Rajasthan and Punjab. Both these states have reverted back to the old pension scheme. While implementing the OPS could give the Congress some relief, doing away with employee and employer pension contribution would mean borrowing heavily to fund salaries, pensions, and interest payment. This could lead the state down a debt spiral. Moving on. In an era of unabated information dissemination, deciphering between fake and real news is a tough task. And while the government wants to stop fake news circulation through the proposed IT rules amendment, the Editors Guild of India is clearly not happy with what the government thinks is best in the nation's interest. The proposed amendment says if any information or news posted on social media platforms is found to be fake by the Press Information Bureau's fact-check unit, it will not be allowed on online intermediaries, including social media platforms. This proposal means that PIB's fact-check unit would be the ultimate authority to differentiate between what it thinks is fake or real. The Editors Guild of India cites the risk of press censorship, saying the determination of fake news cannot be in the sole hands of the government. The Guild has urged the government to hold consultations with relevant stakeholders. In March 2021, the Guild had raised concerns that the new IT rules would empower the government to block, delete, or modify published news without any judicial oversight. The amendment rules suggest that once the news is flagged as fake, it will be ensured that nobody hosts, displays, or uploads the said information. Now, the central government's latest amendment of the IT rules puts more obligations on social media companies to make sure no unlawful content or misinformation is posted on the platforms. Moving on. In the last 4 years, the eastern part of Joshimath has slid around 10 centimeters per year. That's what a study by the French state research organization, the Centre National de la Recherche Scientifique, has found. Meanwhile, fresh snow and rain has made things worse for the subsidence hit Temple Town. Overnight rain and morning snow have put a dampener on the administration's proposed rehabilitation plans. But for the town's displaced people, many who are already contending with the loss of ancestral homes. The intense cold has only compounded their sorrows. As per official count, nearly 260 families are being temporarily sheltered at relief centers. When now demolition work involving hotels, houses and other buildings that are on the verge of collapse has been halted. As many as 849 houses in the town of Joshimath have developed cracks. Meanwhile, the search for suitable land for permanent relocation of the affected families continues. Back to the analysis, where French experts have pinpointed specific areas in Joshimath which saw maximum subsidence. According to their research, the eastern part of the town slid by a staggering 10 centimeters per year, followed by the western side, which saw an annual displacement of about 3 centimeters. According to the CNRS study, between 2018 and 2022, two zones in the eastern and the western parts of Joshimath continuously slid on the downhill part of the slope. The displacement rates were higher in the eastern part of the slope, designated as Unit A. The area has slid a whopping 10 centimeters in the last 4 years. Followed by the western side, designated as Unit B, which saw an annual displacement of 3 centimeters. Now, these findings are consistent with ISRO's past analysis of satellite images. But all in all, the French study highlights just how sensitive the region is, ecologically speaking, that is. These revelations could further pose a threat to planned development activities in the region, which include major road and dam constructions. Although Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami assures that the Char Dham Yatra will go ahead as planned in 4 months' time. With that, it's an end to another edition of Top Angle. Incisive news analysis and cutting-edge documentaries streaming on News 9+. Thanks for watching.